Hello, darling. It's good to see you again, and thanks for joining me for today's video. I'm finally back in the van, which is good for a change, but it's only for a day or two because of the cool change. The weather forecast says we've only got a cool change for a couple of days, but I'm hoping it's going to last more than a few days. But time will tell. It's been really hot, and as you know, I'm located here in Australia, and we're in the middle of summer. And our summers are really hot. And if you don't have an air conditioner, oh my God, you're going to be really uncomfortable. And I don't have an air conditioner in my apartment, nor in my van. And the thing is that my landlord won't install an air conditioner in my apartment. And I have to wait until my mechanic gets back from holidays before I can get the air conditioner in my van fixed. But I still need to get a good portable air conditioner for in the back of the van here. Like, for example, like an Easy Breeze or an EcoFlow or something like that, which I don't have the money for. And I was hoping to be able to go back to work so I can get the money as soon as possible, to buy this portable air conditioner, which I can use in my van as well as in my apartment. But the thing is that I have to wait until the end of January, because I have to wait until my boss gets back from holidays before I can ask her to get my job back. So therefore, in the meantime, I'll just have to do the best I can and try to cope with the best I can in the meantime, which is quite difficult. And even though I have 3 air coolers at home in my apartment, as well as the ice maker machine now, which makes a big difference. However, when it's really hot, those air coolers, which do help, however, they don't help as much as what I would like them to. And because it's so hot in the van, I can't stay in the van. The only reason why I'm in the van now is because of the cool change, which is finally, oh my God, about time, And the thing is that, because I'm a domestic violence victim survivor who has anxiety, depression, PTSD, including nightmares. Oh my God, and I hate it when that awful feeling, which I call the spider feeling, I hate it when that comes, I really do. Because when that comes, what I usually do is I hop in my van and just go somewhere, just go stealth somewhere. And when I'm in my van, that feeling will go away. However, the thing is because of the hate, because I've been able to hop in my van. I can't even hop in my van and bring Doc in the backyard because it's too hot. So all I can do is stay in my apartment. And that is not good for me, especially when that awful feeling comes, because when that feeling comes, and I stay in my apartment, that feeling just gets worse and worse, and it becomes more intense, And oh my God, it's just horrible. Putting up with the hate on top of that, as well as the nightmares on top of that. Oh my God. I just I feel so drained and exhausted. I really do. It's just horrible because, that awful feeling, it makes you feel like, for example, I'll be lying down in my bed, just having a rest because of the hate. The hate makes me feel nausea, and it gives you awful headaches too because it makes your brain swell up. So I was just lying in my bed, in front of the air cooler, enjoying a bit of breeze while trying to. And all of a sudden that feeling comes again, and I just feel like as if, there's someone in the lounge room or the kitchen who's about to barge into my bedroom and threaten me and hurt me, just like with what my ex-husband used to do when I was married. I mean, before I got married, I never experienced this feeling whatsoever. I never knew that this awful feeling existed until I got married. And then all of a sudden, when my ex-husband started to abuse me and hurt me and harm me and threaten me and blah, 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 all of a sudden, this new feeling, this horrible feeling which I call the spider feeling, all of a sudden it becomes my new constant companion which just won't leave me alone, ever. Even now that after 10 years since I've left my abusive marriage, but that awful feeling is still there. And even though that feeling is nowhere near as bad as what it was in the beginning, like for example, when I first moved into my apartment back in 2018, oh my God. For the first 2.5, 3 years of living in my apartment, I didn't feel safe. I always felt afraid. Like as if, you feel like this person that's standing behind you, who's just about to, stab you in the back with a knife, just like with what my ex-husband used to do. But he didn't stab me in the back behind. He stabbed me in my left breast right in front of me. He came in, he walked around from behind me. And he stood right in front of me because I was sitting on the couch watching the TV, when all of a sudden he just walks around from behind me from the kitchen, and he's standing in front of me, standing over the top of me, and he presses this large kitchen knife about this, no longer than this, into my left breast here, cutting me, threatening me over and over again, saying, I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you, while he's pushing this big silver knife into the middle of my breast here. And I'm looking down at my breast like this with this big kitchen knife, and and I still dream about all this stuff, all this is later. And in my dreams, it's exactly the same as how it happened. And it's the same intense feeling and the same, my dreams are just as vivid as when it happened, like as if it just happened yesterday, And that feeling goes with it. And this is what it's called. It's called intrusive thoughts. It's another symptom of PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Just like how nightmares are another symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder. But nightmares are when you go to sleep, and intrusive thoughts is what you experience during the daytime. You see what I mean? And so here I am now in my apartment, and I'm stuck in my apartment because of the heat. Like I said, I can't even hop in the van, even just in the backyard, because it's too hot. And there's no way I'm going to let Kelly stay in a hot van. I mean, no one is going to let their fur baby stay in a hot van, are they? And I'm not either. So, I now have to try to persevere as best as I can, which is so difficult to do and so hard to cope with. Because normally, like I said, when this feeling comes, I can hop in the van and just go wherever, and that feeling will subside. But when I stay in my apartment, that feeling continues to grow and grow and become more intense, and it becomes worse, where it comes to the point where it's so hard to bear. And I think the reason for that is because the domestic violence happened in an apartment. It didn't happen in a van. You see what I mean? So when I'm in my apartment, even though this is my own apartment where I'm actually safe, I mean, there's only me and Callie there. However, it doesn't matter because it's still the same kind of environment. It's still an apartment. And the thing is that my brain, it doesn't register that I'm in my own apartment where I'm safe. My brain still thinks I'm in the same apartment when I was married. This is what I think anyway. Oh my God, it's just so stressful. And then trying to tolerate the heat on top of that, trying to stay hydrated and cool. It has just been so hard for me to cope with lately. I mean, if I had the money to buy a good portable air conditioner, I would go and get one right now, and then I could go hop in my van and just go wherever and be nice and cool. But because I don't have the money right now, I can't do that. So therefore, I can only do the best that I can do at this point of time. And all I can do at the moment is just wait until the end of January, which is another week and a half away or so. Because I have to wait, like I said, I have to wait until my mechanic gets back from holidays before I can get the air conditioner in my van fixed. And I have to wait until the end of January when my boss comes back from holidays before I can say about getting my old job back. And I don't think I will be receiving my inheritance any time within the next week or so, because the house still hasn't sold yet, so that's not going to happen anytime soon either. So at the moment, I'm just grateful to have these couple of nice cool days where I can hop in the van for a day or two, where I can now finally Oh my God, I feel like I can now finally. I'm trying not to cry again. I feel like I can finally breathe and finally relax again now that I'm back in the van because of this cool change. And it's great to be back in the van again. I mean, if I didn't have my van, I don't know what I would do. I mean, my van is it's like a lifesaver for me, especially when it comes to, um, my anxiety, depression, and the symptoms of my post-traumatic stress disorder. However, when I still go to sleep in my van, I still have the nightmares anyway, but at least I can relax during the daytime, and that horrible feeling, the spider feeling will subside and go away because I'm in a different environment. When I'm in my van, my brain thinks I'm in a safe environment because the domestic violence never happened in a van. You see what I mean? So I just really hope, fingers crossed, that this cool change is going to last more than a few days. But as said on the weather forecast, we're going to have a nice cool change for a couple of days that we have now. But in 3 more days or so, we're going back to having another heat wave where it's going to be 30, 40, 45 degrees every day. And even during the evenings, it's still quite warm in the evenings. I've got the air coolers going all day and all night in my apartment. And I tell you what I have learned from this experience is that it teaches me to be prepared. It teaches me to be prepared for the weather. It teaches me to have the right equipment in my apartment as well as in my van that I'm going to need, like for example an air conditioner for summer and a heater for winter, etc., etc. And so I'm really hoping that I'll be able to get my job back. And as soon as I get the money to buy a good portable air conditioner from the back of my van, because I can kill two birds with one stone by being using that portable air conditioner in the back of my van here, but I can also use that same portable air conditioner in my apartment as well. You see what I mean? And as soon as I get the money, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order one of those air conditioners. And I think I showed you one or two of them in my other video. What was that called? I changed the title of that video. It was actually called Checking Out Anaconda's Caravan and Camping Gear. But because of a copyright, I had to change that title, which is why I changed that title to Checking Out These Awesome Caravan and Camping Gear. So if you check out that video, you'll see what I'm talking about with those portable air conditioners for your van or your caravan or your truck camper, or you can use them in your apartment if you don't have an air conditioner, They're great. Those portable air conditioners, they're great for dorms, tiny houses, a car, minivan, etc. But they're expensive. They're well over $1,000. Some are over $2,000. So as soon as I get the money, I'm going to go down to Anaconda down the road there, and I'm going to buy one as soon as possible. But like I said, in the meantime, I'm just going to enjoy this cool weather and enjoying spending time in my van while I can before the heat wave comes back. And then I'm just going to have to try and cope with the best I can again, aren't I? And hopefully everything will turn out well. Hopefully I'll be able to get my job back. And hopefully my mechanic will come back soon and I can get the air conditioner in my van fixed. So all I know at the moment is that time will tell. But the moral of the story is be prepared. Because the weather is going to change all the time. In summer you're going to have heat waves. In winter you're going to have blizzards and so on. And this is what I have learned from this, is to be prepared. Be prepared now and have all of the right equipment that I need to be able to survive and be comfortable in my van. And that's what you need to do too. So that's what I've learned from this experience. So like I said, I'm just going to have to try and cope with the best I can in the meantime. I mean, having the ice maker does make a big difference, but it's still not the same as an air conditioner, is it? But at least it's better than nothing. So I just thought I'd make a quick video to let you know what's going on and to always be prepared and always have the right equipment in your van or in your vehicle, whatever type of vehicle you have. So if something happens, like for example, I don't know, just say you get stranded somewhere for whatever reason, at least if you have all the right equipment in your vehicle, like a generator and solar panels, to run your equipment, like a diesel heater or a Mr. Battery heater and an air conditioner or a portable air conditioner or whatever. At least, you'll be able to survive and you'll be able to be comfortable in the meantime. So that's what I've learned from this experience, because of the heat, I can no longer rely on my van to be able to let me escape somewhere when that spider feeling comes. You see what I mean? Now, when that awful feeling comes, I'm now stuck in my apartment, whether I like it or not. And because I'm stuck in my apartment, that feeling just gets worse and worse and worse. It will not go away until I get out of that environment. And the only way I can get out of that environment is via my van. You see what I mean? And, if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what that feeling feels like that I'm talking about. It's not a nice feeling at all. It's the worst feeling in the world. The best way I can describe that feeling, it's the same feeling that how could I say it in a nice way? Like, for example, all the people who were in war, like, for example, World War II, all the people who were in the concentration camps. You know, this is the same feeling how they all felt. The spider feeling, it's the feeling of domestic violence. It's the feeling of fear. It's the feeling of war. It's the same feeling you experience when a lion is about to eat you. And the thing is, there's no cure or medication to help people who have post-traumatic stress disorder and nightmares and intrusive thoughts. And you know, you just have to do whatever you can, you know, to cope. You know, whether it be talking to someone or psychology or meditation or whatever. And for me, I find that being in my van and escaping somewhere is what works for me. But because of the heat and because I don't have an air conditioner and I don't have the money to buy an air conditioner at the moment, therefore I can't do that. So all I can do at the moment is just enjoy these couple of nice cool days in the van while I can before that heat wave comes back. And then just try to cope as best as I can in the meantime. But like I said, I've learned, you know, to be prepared. It's important to be prepared and to have the right equipment. So make sure, you know, you buy a good portable air conditioner, you know, for your vehicle that you can use in your vehicle as well as in your apartment or your house. You know, and make sure you get that air conditioner before summer comes so that when the heat comes, you'll be prepared. And the same with winter, you know, with having a heater, whether it be a diesel heater or a 12-volt heater or a Mr. Battery heater or whatever. You know, because you don't want to get stuck in a heat wave somewhere or in a blizzard somewhere, do you? And not have the right equipment. That's the last thing that you want. And like I said, because of this, I just feel so exhausted and drained, and but at least I can finally have a day or two in the van where I can finally breathe and relax for a change. I mean, it's not much, but at least it's better than nothing, isn't it? So I just hope time hurries up, because once the end of this month comes, then I'll be able to start to get things done, like meaning getting my job back and getting some money back and stuff like that. But until then, I'm just going to have to try and cope as best as I can, aren't I? I mean, that's all that we can do, can't we? Just do the best that we can do. Simple as that. Alright, so this video has been going for half an hour, so I think that's long enough. So thanks for joining me for today's video. I really appreciate you joining my videos, I really do. And please subscribe to my channel to support me. And don't forget to give my videos a thumbs up. And I'll see you, darling, in the next video. So until then, please take care and, of course, drive safely. Bye-bye, darling.